Alright, so my name is Brendan Skrako, and I'm going to show you today how to replace a screen in a Gateway NV75S06H laptop. What you're going to need is a small Phillips screwdriver. You can buy these at any computer store, and you'll need an X-Acto knife, although you probably want something that doesn't scratch to remove some of the screw covers. So to remove the screw covers, you can see there's one located here, and then one on the opposite side. I'll just get in here and get the second one. And it came off much easier than the first one. And now that those two are done, we can move on to the next step of removing this screw and the other screw. So we're going to move on to removing the faceplate, which is around the edge. I'm just going to move this sideways. What you want to do, probably with your fingers rather than an object, is separate the screen, and you can see it comes apart there. And I can just gently remove it, and now you can see it's just unclipped. So I'll have to do that all the way around. I'll just spin it back the other way now, so you can see that there. Just going to keep moving my finger down, it detaches. And we get to the hinge part here. Mine's actually come apart quite nicely, and I just unclip, run my fingers, feel the hinge. Now, I'm going to have to remove screws here and here so that we can remove the screws along both the sides to pull out the monitor. So I'm going to take these first two off. And this now allows me to pull the monitor back a bit. But what you need to be careful of is along the top here, you've got a cable connecting your web camera. So when you look down the back, you've got to make sure that you separate this cable from the back of the monitor. But for now, we're going to remove these side screws, starting with the top. And actually, I'll spin this around to show you. So we've got a screw here, here, and here, and they're actually numbered 1, 3, and 2. So, take the first one out. And this one you have to wiggle a little bit just because the frames come off of it. Make sure you hold it. I'm going to twist it around for you so you can see the other side. Same screws. 1, 2, and 3. So now, what we need to be very careful for is these cables along the back, and you can see this one peeled off already, but there's the LCD panel down there. And this is what we have to be really careful of, because this is the static area that you don't want to get with electricity. I'm going to adjust stuff here for you so you can see a little bit better. And there's a protective film above this, so I'm going to use a X-Acto knife very, very carefully, peel one side up, pulling this across, not touching. I'm going to save this because I want to use it for the new one. And all we have to do is gently, pulling this black part, disconnect the LCD screen, and we're done. We now have a removed screen, making sure we don't pull this cable. We're good. Now before I install the new screen, I'm just going to make sure that some of these cables are in these pin straps and check to make sure that the monitor, the LCD, forgive me, fits. And we have the right one, which is good. I've left the protective coating on there just so that I don't get any fingerprints while I make sure everything works. So now what we want to do is we need to reconnect the 40-pin connector to the screen. So I'm going to turn this around and we'll get going on that. So we're just going to slide this in. Make sure it pops in there properly, which it does. And from the old monitor, the old LCD, peel off that piece of tape and fasten it on the new one to prevent it from coming loose. And as I mentioned, we are going to make sure that these cables get pinned back in properly. So we've got it in the cradle. I'm going to flip it around and lay it on its back side, make it a little easier. Link. Make sure your cables are tucked away nicely and in their holes. Then we can put the faceplate back on. Tilt it far enough away so that these hooks hook in there. Then we can clip it all. Everything just clips back together. Couple clips along the bottom here. Make sure you get those in. Put your last two screws in. Put your covers back on. Grab your power, grab your battery, test her out. And we should have a new screen. Perfect, we have a new screen. A couple pointers, take out the battery. Some people may not put this faceplate back on until they've tested the screen, but I prefer to do that to stop static electricity from frying any of the parts in there. Best to have everything apart and good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to post to this video or go to my website at skrakes.com, skrakes.com. Thanks, bye.